Hello everyone. It is Michelle, your Couture independent designer, and I need to turn my house to fall. So I wanted to go ahead and play with this apple orchard. I'll show you guys what I got. I'm going to be doing my mantle and apples. I have some faux apples that look like Granny Smith and some Red Delicious. So I thought this would be the perfect centerpiece for fall, okay? Now the surface that I have down here, let me show you guys. It's probably could be a little bit bigger, but this is the best that I had. I'm trying to decide now if I do want to do it this way on this board, because it was at clearance at Michael's, or if I wanted to put it just on a chalkboard. And I kind of liked this because I have some of those apple looking barrel things that I'm going to put those apples in on there, but it's just a little on the small side. But I'm going to see if I can at least make it fit, even if we can't do the outline part of it. We're going to play with that. So first I'm going to just take this out and we're going to fuzz it. I'm going to try my darndest to fit it on this surface. And what I can do is I can chalk this. We could do the watercolor technique, or I can just leave it chalked on here. So we'll decide all of these decisions while we do that. But first I need to fuzz it, okay? Because this is a brand new transfer. The surface here is pretty smooth. I did not wax it because I didn't know I was going live tonight. But I was sitting on the couch doing some things and I felt the need to get up. So this will be my get up activity for right now. And I'm going to take this and I'm folding it in half. Oh my gosh, I just knocked my whole camera over. And I'm going to fold it in half and stick that to my 2 fuzzing cloths because it's really sticky. And what we don't want to happen is we don't want our transfer to stretch, because if we are going to do the watercolor technique, you can't have it stretch or else it's not going to line up the same. Okay. And I'm going to do both sides. I'm just going to keep lifting it up and putting it back down so that I can get a little bit of lint on there to make it less sticky. And it's really just the apple part in the middle that I want to make sure does not, I think I turned my camera there, does not get damaged or stretched, because we're going to have to line it back up if we do the watercolor technique. So I'm just going to concentrate on that section because the rest of it can just be chalked and we don't have to line it up again. But the apples, yes. What is that at the bottom? Is that a flower? I don't even know what that is. Like this. All right. And I'm going to start by kind of lining it up this way to see. Because I really don't care if I have the border around. What I want is the apple orchard words. And I want the names of the apple at the bottom. So we're going to try not to stick the sticky to the sticky. And I'm just going to play with it here to make sure. I need to move it down a little bit more. Let's see. Ooh. Little, I think we can do it though. I think this is going to work out. I just got rid of all my purple paste. Oh my gosh. I'm picking up lipstick. I'm picking up a paint marker. All right. Just gonna move this down. Aha. And let's see. I do have some lint. More than I wanted on the back. Let's see what we got here. And I'm going to want to make sure that I remember not to go over the line there. And then I'm going to go like this. Got some air bubbles in there. Get those out. This is a tight fit, but I think we're okay. All right, so we have that. There we go. You see that? So what I'm thinking here, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of it as a watercolor technique. Because if I bring my apples over here, we do have some different greens. We could kind of do like a sagey, not wild lime. Moss is way too dark. We could even mix a color to match, but I'm thinking the sage is pretty close. I definitely wouldn't go as dark as the other ones. And then for the apple, we could do candy apple, or we could even do cherry, would look good. Either one of those would look good. But then the question is, you know, to do a watercolor, you do the whole base, then you wash or transfer, and then you can go in and color the apples and then do your next layer. What I'm trying to figure out is what I want to do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the base down in black, and that's going to give us the outline. And then even for these leaves, even for the basket, we could go in and use a brush to do the watercolor technique. So, or we may do this in black velvet and love it so much that we leave it. We'll see. So first I'm going to make sure I have no air bubbles. Bubble is trouble. And because I didn't wax the surface, I'm really hoping I got all of that out. And then I'm gonna this is a lot of screen on here, right? I'm gonna take one of my small squeegees and we're just gonna go. I have to remember not to do those outer lines. And we are gonna go all through here. I really couldn't tell if this is just a whitewash background or if this is a dry erase board. It would be cool if it was dry erase because then I can always start over again. But honestly, I'm not sure. I was just excited that this was on clearance. So make sure you head to your Michaels if you were looking for large surfaces like this, because they were deeply, deeply discounted when I went in the end of the week. These are really close to the bottom, so I'm just gonna make sure I get all of those screens in there. And this may look good. Hey Julie, how are you doing? I feel like it's been a while since I've talked to you, even though you send me the funniest things. I'm gonna do this for my mantle to go along with these apple decorations that I got. But I thought I would either leave this black and white, or we can kind of play around with the watercolor technique. This is when it's good to have a multi-tool nearby, because then you can scoop out the sides. I'm just gonna put some on there. Like here. I was actually thinking about you today because I know you went with Emily on a band trip, and Ezra has a Disney trip next year. Well, in March. And when I was looking at all the details, I was like, oh, this sounds like Julie's trip. But it's really cool. His band is going to be playing for an animation. So they'll be playing the music, and then the animators is going to put it to one of their animations. So that is just really cool. I think my brother is going to be meeting me down there as well to see the nephew. I'm getting paste all over. I have been super crazy, so I haven't really chalked much lately. I'm surprised I even came up with a time now, but I really wanted to do fall. I already have Halloween stuff coming to put out on my porch, so I thought I need to at least do fall inside. All right, I have so much paste on here that I am just scraping off some of the excess. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel this off and reveal it. And then I'm going to take this to the sink so that we can watercolor, and this will be drying while we do the watercolor part. But I have so much paste on here. I'm wiping it off. I can see some of it drying, so I'm getting worried that I'm too slow. Spent the day fishing out at Pretty Boy today, so I'm a dirtball right now. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel this. I think I'm just going to drop that on there side to side because I only have 2 hands. Oh, I got some paste there. I'm going to have to wipe that off quickly with a dry erase marker or board eraser. What am I talking about? Oh, I love it. Let's put this down. 1 second. I'm going to come back with a dry eraser. It's such a small speck there, so even if I can't get it up, I think it'll be okay. I even have apples I could use to hide it. But what I'm going to do is try to see... Oh, I'm just making it bigger. Hold on. Oh, this might be dry erase, honestly. Look at that. Where's my squishy? Hold on. Oh gosh. There we go. I'm making more of a mess because I have paste on my finger. Oh my gosh. I might be better off using a paper towel because my fingers. I'm going to say this is a dry erase board because how easy it's coming off. Did I see something over here? All right. So we'll let this sit a minute. Doesn't it look great? We'll let this sit a minute. I don't know. Do you think I should even do the watercolor or leave this as is? Or do I want it to match my apples that I got chalk all over? It looks really nice. So let me wash my transfer. Talk amongst yourself, Julie. I'm just using a board eraser and getting off all of this paste. A lot of paste. And it's a very large transfer. Okay, finally it is washed. So now I just need to decide if I actually want to watercolor or leave it as is. What do you think, Julie? I'm going to go ahead and help dry this along. I kind of do want to do the watercolor technique. My favorite apple is the Honeycrisp. But I do like Fuji's and Galas. I like them all, but I really like a good Honeycrisp. I was actually talking to my mom, Julie, this weekend. Maybe it was Friday. And telling her that I wanted to go to that Apple Festival this year as a customer. Since we used to do that with Couture, I just want to go and walk around. See the jerky people, get some apples, get some cider, not have a tent blow away, that kind of stuff. Hey Christy, how are you doing? I just want this to dry because I don't want the lines to smear as we're doing this watercolor technique. It has been a while, hasn't it, Christy? How have you been? How's that puppy of mine you got there? I got little buckets, and I don't remember what color they are. I want to say it's brown, and it's metal that's going around, but I don't remember what color that is, and I'm not going to go and disturb Winston to go look, but I'm going to come over here to my laptop to see if I can look at Michael's website to see if it's silver or if it's copper, because I don't remember. Let me see. Michael's. I don't even know if they're going to be on the website because they're on clearance also. Michael's. It's the big fall sale. So I'm going to say fall bucket. What do you call that? What do you call the things? Oh my gosh, I just turned on my laptop, so I'm getting a million notifications because it hasn't been turned on in so long. I'm going to see if I put in fall bucket, what comes up. Or apple basket. What is it, a basket? There it is. It's silver. Silver and brown, so we can do that. Okay. Let me just... I guess it doesn't have to match completely, but I thought it would be neat. I'm trying to make sure there's not more than one. Looks like there's just one. So it is silver. The band that goes around those are silver, and then the rest is brown. Growing like a weed. 80 pounds. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just going to touch here. And like I showed you guys, oh my God, I got paste all on the side, and I didn't even realize it. Let me try to get that off. I did not even notice as I did that. But this will come off with my board eraser. Hopefully, because it kind of dried on the wood part. Oh, it's coming off good. I did not even see that I did that. Which is okay. I can kind of just do this and it would kind of give it that vintage look, wouldn't it? That's what I'm gonna do. I'll do that. I'm gonna do that all on the side. There we go. There we go. Now let's get that off of my board. This is definitely dry erase, so I may have to go get more of these because they are on clearance. Because these can be reused. All right. So I'm going to put my black velvet aside because we're going to need it again after we do our watercolor technique. But I have green apple. This isn't the best color for it. Ooh, I wonder if I can do shimmers. Don't I have a shimmer crimson? Should we try to do shimmers for the apples, or is that too much? Is that too much? Because this is, we may have to mix a new color. Let me see. Maybe what we can do is play around with those two and white. Let's see. Let's take some meadow. Let's take some sage. And then let's take some bright white and see what we get when we mix that up. I may put too much white in there, but it may also just be perfect. We want a color a little lighter than leaf. That's a nice apple. Oh, wow. I think we might have nailed it for the first shot, which is not like Michelle. Look. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good to match my apples. All right. So we'll kind of play with this. And then we have some candy apple. And this almost has a little bit of yellowish. Maybe we'll... Ooh, what is that new color that came that I didn't get a chance to play with? Is that too... Oh, it's too dark. And it is a shimmer. I'm thinking of using saffron for the, see how the tops of the apples are like another color? Maybe we'll do some of that. Perfect. All right, let me get some color trays and a brush. Let me get my artist tool set brushes. I don't need Scout. Is Scout a shimmer? It is. All right. Our big brush, it's kind of big. We'll put that aside. We'll use these brushes here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some of them in the green. I'm gonna make some of them in the red. Hey Terry, we're making an apple orchard for my mantle. We're doing what's called watercolor technique. So I chalked my design in black. We're gonna come in here and try to color in some of these apples. You guys know I'm not a painter. And then we'll let that dry, and then I'm gonna put it back on so it outlines it again. So it's almost like a coloring page. I'm just gonna do the apples here and the basket. I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and put some water in here, and I'm gonna grab some of this color, this yellowy color. Here. And we'll play with one at the bottom since people are going to be looking at the top. And I'm just going to kind of fill in some areas. And it's okay if I get on that black, because remember, we're going to go back over. Now, what I didn't realize is that this more than likely is a dry erase board, so I can already see it kind of beating up a little bit. But I think if we do it thick enough, it'll be fine. And I'm just gonna go, we're gonna do a little bit of blending in there. I'm gonna do the tops and bottoms with a little bit of this. But having it beat up a little bit is gonna be good when I try to go to blend it in. Remember, I'm not a painter by any means. I may have to do thicker than the water because it's dry erase. It's kind of beating up and trying to wash itself off with the water. So what I'll try then with my red is just put it directly on without wetting. Oh yeah, see, that works much better. But I'm gonna kind of come in here. I'm gonna blend them a little bit, and it's okay if I go on those black lines because we're gonna be putting the black lines back over top. So I'm coming through here like this. I'm just gonna do the whole thing red and then try to see if I can get that color on top. You can kind of see it because it's very subtle. It's not like it's a yellow apple. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so pretty. And then let's come over here and we'll just go ahead and do this one. You don't have to be neat about it because we're going to be covering up those edges again. And the transfer is over there drying. So once we get this color on, I think I'm just gonna forget that yellow because I'm not that artistic. Coming through like this. But I even got these apples on a stick to put in my wine bottles that are hanging on the wall in my sunroom. So there's definitely going to be a fall apple theme this year. You guys know I like to change up my theme every year for fall, and this year is apples. Last year I did a lot of pumpkins, which may be in November. We'll do this for now. We'll do a Halloween outside. That way, this gives the apple a little bit of texture there. I'll do this one. And then we'll put some specks of that little orange on it. Ooh, this is going much faster than I thought it was going to, so that makes me happy too. I am tired. Had a very busy weekend. What did you guys do this weekend? Anything fun, Terry? Christy? I know Christy's always doing something fun. I don't need to ask her. She's busy bee with 1,000 things to do. I'll do that one. I'm going to do both of those in the pretty green that we mixed. But we'll come up here. Do this one. Nobody wants to talk about their weekend yet? Is it because you're sad that it's getting over? I can say my weekend was busy because it was, but my week ahead is going to be extremely crazy. So the weekend is going to seem calm compared to what I have coming up this week. Oh, you went to is that the one in Westminster, Christy, you were at? Trying to get in here. Like I said, these edges don't have to be perfect because we're going to be covering it up again to give it that pop and detail. And you don't even have to do that. I'm just going to make the one, is that a leaf or is that an apple right there? I'm just going to, I can't tell. I can't tell. We'll go ahead and do this one. Oh, at the Elks, yeah. I didn't get an invitation, but that's okay. Not that I could have went yesterday, but... One day you'll invite me. And then we'll do this. I'm just going to go all the way around here. Give it some color. So this really is like just a big coloring book page that we're going to fill in with our chalk. This is a dry erase board that was on clearance at Michael's, and it fits the E-size transfer. And I want to say the clearance price was $7, which I thought was amazing. I'm kind of mad that I only got one, but I'm surprised that this store did not put a missing persons out on me because I haven't been there in months and months and months. I didn't even know the register person. So that was very odd. I'm usually on first name basis with the register people at Michael's. Didn't even know her. I'm gonna go ahead and get this little apple right here. And the most bizarre thing happened. I don't know about you guys, but my debit card, I don't ever know the PIN. And this was actually a card that I've had for a while, but they got new checkout machines. And if you have a debit card and you don't know your PIN, you can't buy anything. Is that strange? Because at first I was like, well, I want this board, but I don't know my PIN. And she was like, sorry, if you don't know your PIN, you can't buy anything. And I was like, who in the world? But on the first shot, I guessed my PIN. Because I didn't really say, because I had some other things. I don't think I posted pictures, but I made cupcakes for an event yesterday at the spa that I am doing medical treatments at, and they were going to have a taco bar. So I was like, let's make some cupcakes that go well with tacos. Okay, so let me tell you my spread. Tara, you'll like this. The first one was gluten-free, and it is a triple chocolate gluten-free cupcake. So the cake was gluten-free chocolate cake, and I filled it with a chocolate ganache, which I've never done before, so I'm sad because I didn't even eat one of them. But they got rave reviews. And then I made a chocolate buttercream on top and put some little gold sprinkles on them because it was, you know, a ladies' night. It was a girls' night. So that was the first cupcake. The second cupcake was a tres leches cupcake. So it's the one that has the 3 different milks that you soak into the cake. And you have to be really careful because you want it to be a really spongy cake. So that was yummy. And that was topped with like a very light, I'm going to do this one red too, a very light whipped frosting. And I put strawberries on top. That's one of the cupcakes. And then the third cupcake was a churro cupcake. So I made like a cinnamon base cake. Hey Tracy, how you doing? I made a cinnamon base cake. Hold on, I have to concentrate for this part right here. It was a cinnamon cake. And after the cake cooled, I brushed melted butter on the top of it, right? So melted butter. Let's see. I think that's good for those. And we'll do the rest in the other color. I'm going to go rinse my brush, and I'll tell you what else I put on this cupcake because you're going to be like, what? Here we go. Okay, so the churro cupcakes were cinnamon cake. After the cinnamon cake cooled down, I brushed the top with butter. Then I sprinkled with cinnamon and sugar, okay? Then I made a cinnamon cream cheese buttercream to go on top. And then I actually sat there, got authentic churros, fried them, cut them, and put a piece of churro on top of them. So, I mean, they looked amazing. I couldn't try those either because that was not gluten-free, but the reviews were amazing. I'm going to do these in this green that we mixed up using meadow, sage, and bright white. And I'm just going to get them in here. You want to paint it in. You don't want to smudge too much of the black that is in the middle, but it's okay if you do because we're going to be putting that back on. So cupcakes were definitely a hit. I did have one chocolate one for myself here at home, and my son ate it of the gluten-free, but I wasn't mad. And then we're gonna, I know it looks like I'm messing it up and I'm not staying in the lines, but it will look better and make more sense when we do the final layer. Oh, I guess that's an apple slice. I'm gonna have to think of what color paste we have that I want to be the inside of an apple. What color is the inside? I don't even know if I know that. All right, and then we'll come here. If you've never seen this technique before, it's called the watercolor technique because pretty much we are painting this stuff in here. But cream color. Okay. Maybe our grayish then, or something more like, I think this is gonna match our apples over here really nicely. And these lines here, like I said, you can go over them. And I know it looks bad now, but once we put the outline back on, it's gonna look perfect. So we're losing some of the detail just while we watercolor, but we will get that detail back when we do the final layer. I almost didn't see this little apple over here. Here. It goes really fast when you have these big spaces, but I know sometimes when you're watercoloring, some of the transfers are such little tiny spaces. But this one we're just gonna fill in, and then we'll come back and do these leaves. Maybe we'll do those in the darker green meadow, like a creamy whitish or white with a hint of your apple of choice color. Ooh, I can't even think, because I think I'm so slow that I cut an apple, it turns brown, but I don't want to make them brown. Oh, Michelle. Get that in there. For those of you on here that are designers, I don't know if you guys saw, there's a new promotion where you earn these little patches starting this month. So if you're active, you get a patch, and then each month you're active for the next 6 months, you get a new patch. And then I guess if you collect all the patches, they send you something to put your patches on. So something cute if you like to, you know, it reminds me of when Happy Meals come out with toys and you want to collect them all. But that's just for the designers here. There we go. We have our Oh, that's looking really good. I would say like an ombre type effect with the green on the outside and blend it into white. Okay. I'm gonna go rinse this. We'll do the leaves while I think about that. And I am gonna go with the darker green for the leaves. I'm gonna try. My meadow is thick. I may need to add water to my jar. Oh no, it's good. I might need to go even darker than this because this doesn't seem too dark close to it. I'll have to see in the camera how it looks up close. I don't want it to be too similar. Maybe I'll just add more. Too much. You don't want to put it too thick because remember, we still have to chalk over and pull it off, and you don't want to have a big glob of paste that's going to pull up. Let's see, we have that. I don't want to do shimmer forest. Oh no, you can tell the difference. I knew you meant ombre. I knew you meant that. What can I do? I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this watercolor technique, but now that I'm in it, I'm really excited to see. I'll just do that little part there and pretend that's another leaf. Excited to see this now with all the details on it. Just go like that. And I'll come over here. What I like about the watercolor technique is that you don't have to stay in the lines. I mean, as long as you're in the part. You don't want to go outside on the outside because you'll see that when you put the final touches on top. But everywhere else, you don't have to be perfect because I am not perfect. This is really thick. I'm about to add some water to this jar. You could even do it kind of abstract if you want to leave some parts undone. But some of these areas that I'm doing thick, I'm kind of making it look like a hot mess in a way by scraping off more of the paste in some areas than others. I'm just going to add a little bit in my jar. Just a little bit. I haven't really used this meadow in a little bit, so there we go, perfect. Got a little dryness to it, and it's been really cold in the basement. But you can really play with shading if you are artsy. Unlike me, I'm just not that artsy. Like Tracy would probably be able to make this look 3D. How's work been going for you, Tracy? Didn't you make a change recently? I'll go like this. And again, when we do the final layer, it's going to put all the details back in. So don't you worry about losing these details as you paint this. I don't think I was supposed to paint that section, but you'll never be able to tell. Girl, it's been crazy. I tried to leave. Oh, so you didn't leave. I was wondering how you're going to get out of there, because haven't you been doing that for so long? I mean, when you are so good, you are good, girl. No one's going to let you go. Like this. I may have gotten a little bit out of the lines there, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off since I know it's dry erase. Oh, what kind of truck did you get? Did you get one of those Tesla weird things that I keep seeing on the news? Ooh, I hope you didn't. We saw one pulled over today. Was it today or yesterday? I forget what day it was, but we saw one pulled over. I need to go to a smaller brush for some of these areas. Let's go ahead and... Right now on my mantle, I went back to my evergreen, so it's the travel, which Terry Hurley, who was on here, I doubt she's still on. I don't think she usually sticks around long. But me and Terry Hurley, to celebrate her 50th birthday, are going to Jamaica in a couple of weeks. A new work truck. Oh, nice. Not the Tesla one then. I'm going to see if I can get this one without going to a smaller brush, just by kind of side swiping it. Like I said, this part does not have to be perfect because that black line is going to go right over that. Perfect. I'll come over here. I sent Terry Hurley a message the other day saying, ooh, in this many weeks, we're going to be waking up right now to the Jamaica sun. We have our own little swim out from our room too, so that's going to be fun. But I've been an intermittent. I know you've been doing it for a long time, Tracy. It's a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it's tough, especially when you get super stressed out, because I know you were working a lot of hours and super crazy busy. You can fall out of love with your work. I fell out of love with mine more than once. So that can definitely happen. Where are you staying? We are staying at, what is it called? Montego Bay. Is it Secrets? Which one is the adults only? Is it Secrets? If anybody needs a good travel agent, it's a girlfriend of mine who's a travel agent who did a great job. She got us half off of our package, premium, with our own little swim out and premium little package. So she's also a Couture designer on my team, and she did a great job. Got us a great deal, communicates really well, really is sweet and caring. Everything you want in a travel agent. There we go. We are almost done with this, guys. I can't wait to see this. Oh, yes, Secrets, Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica, honestly. So I don't know. I'll take your word for it. I have never heard bad things about it, but I've never been there. Which it's that time of year where I really want to like microneedle my face and get chemical peel and all of those things to get rid of and get ready for the new season. And I need this trip to happen first. Because you don't want to do that kind of stuff to your face and then go out in the sun. I actually don't even want any more sun this year, but I'm going to enjoy it. Might wear one of those big hats when I'm there, so my face is spared. Okay. There is our meadow. So we just have this little flower thing over here, and then this flower and that. Ooh, I missed a spot up there. What am I doing? And then we're going to do the basket really quick, and then we can do our layer. We are done. There we go. Jamaica sounds amazing. I know. This has been crazy. All right, let me rinse this brush. And what did I say? That has the buckets that are going to be on my mantle. Hi, I made a purchase on the 1st. Not sure if you got it. I'm not sure if I got it either. All right, so then we're going to do that in silver and that in silver. I think the picture I looked at just had those two. And then the rest is going to be brown. And the brown that is in there is actually on the darker side. So I'm trying to, do we want to do camel? We'll do camel. And I think it is a darker, but maybe what we'll kind of do an ombre with those. I can check, Rebecca. I'm pretty sure I made a post since the 1st. What is today, the 7th? Didn't you have a post in the Chocoholic group thanking you? I'm pretty sure I did do that. Because it was you and Vanessa? No, it was... I forget who. There was a couple purchases on the 1st that I thanked in Chocoholic. I think you were one of them. So what we'll do is... maybe we'll do what Tracy was talking about. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by putting the bottom layer dark down here. Maybe it was Kathy. I don't know. I'd have to look, Rebecca. They haven't been the greatest at sending emails to tell us when somebody makes a purchase, especially with the new perk stuff. I don't see a lot of that. I'll go here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And the buckets are kind of antique-ish. So we're going to kind of not make it solid. Go like that. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of go with the dark here and here. Remember, I'm not an artist. I'm not going to pretend to be one. Here, here, and then it's dry erase, so I can erase some of that if I go over that line too much, because that's going to be silver. And then what we'll do, let's grab another brush and come in with the camel. And I'm going to kind of just come through. It's going to look a little messy, and then we're going to make it even more messy. Not so much like an ombre, but a little bit. I'm probably going to use my finger in a second, like a elementary school child, to try to fill in some of this. And I'm just going to kind of blend it, because I don't want it to be all one color. We'll kind of, so it looks a little worn. That's how it looks in person where we're putting it. Yeah, just like this. See that? It would, Tracy, but I actually have the containers that are going on the mantle that have the apples in them. And the one I got from Michael, surprisingly, it's silver. So I want it to match the buckets that are going to be on the thing. But yes, if I didn't have those, that already had the silver, then I would do them in like a brassy color. But I'm going to follow along with the decorations I got from Michael's when I got this board. Go like this. I was hoping that they had some that were more of that brass color than the silver, but that's what they had out. I guess it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy, but I thought it would be cute to match it. That's what's so fun about making your own home decor, is you can mix and match and make it look any way you want to. I'm just going in with the camel in the middle, and then finger paint a little bit more. It gives it a nice look here. There we go. That's the look I was looking for. It's kind of how the bucket looks. That's okay, girl. You have amazing ideas. Always bring them on. At least it's drying fast, so that's good. And then for that top part, I'm going to come back in with the dark again. Kind of do this little rim area. I think this is turning out much cuter than I thought it was going to. I can't wait to put all the apples up. Now there's 4 other shelves though that I guess I'm gonna have to do other apple things for, or maybe just fall stuff. That way it's not just complete apples. What do you think? All right, I'm gonna go rinse this brush off and we'll do the silver, and all we have is a little tiny few pieces left. And the transfer is over here drying very nicely so that we can do our final layer. All right, so I'm gonna put the camel away. I'm gonna put the bright red away, or candy apple, I mean. And our bark. it down here. I had a thought in my head for that slice and I've already lost it. I think in my head for a second I was like, what about peachy keen? But now I see the peach and it's definitely too pink. We have Dune. We have Vanilla, which is more off shade white. Gray is just gonna be too gray. We don't want a gray apple. But then we also have these little flowers. Does anybody know what color an apple flower is? What color is an apple flower? I don't even know. But what we'll do is we'll take that. Let me see how this looks on. I'm going to use this to do this little part of the flower to see how it shows up on the board. Oh, that is a cream. So that might be exactly what you meant, right, Tracy? I don't know. So let's grab some of our green out here. Put it on there and then see how it looks. Our vanilla. It's different than white. I don't know how it's showing up on the camera. But it is it is a cream color. I like it. That'll be perfect for that apple slice. But what color is an apple flower? Does anybody even know? What color is an apple flower? I didn't even know that apples had flowers, or maybe this is just a flower that's, you know, whatever. That one for the apple, and then a small bit of green at the bottom. I'll go like that. My fingers is wet. Kind of blend that in a little bit. Ombre, like you said. Ooh, that looks nice. Pink of the tips and white in the middle. Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab ballet slipper. Pink. Thank you, Tracy. Pink on the tips and white in the middle. So what we'll do then is we'll put this around and then we'll use that same vanilla and kind of ombre that. I didn't even know that apples had flowers. All right. I'm just gonna kind of ombre it with my brush as I paint it on like that. That's gonna look really good when we put the outline on. Oh, that's gonna look really good. Thank you, Tracy. Those look really good. All right. Almost like a cherry blossom. Is that what it says? All right, let's slap this silver on here and then we can go ahead and do our outline. Let's move this. What did I do with that bigger brush? This is probably too thick. It's too thick. You guys are so helpful. Thank you. All right, let me close up vanilla. Tracy really is just an artist. I can chalk, but I'm not an artist. All right, so again, we're doing silver because that's what the containers I have have a silver rim. And I'm just going to, but you know what? This is actually going to look, got a little bit too much in there. This is going to look really good with the reflection of the light that's in that room. I may have to, it's so light, the silver, I may have to do, you know what, I should be using disco. I'm making a switch. I'm putting away shimmer. I may have to just do the whole thing in this and then cover with disco. I don't know why I didn't think of disco first, because disco is a little darker and is a metallic. That's all right. We'll do the base with this shimmer silver. And then I'm going to switch it to disco, one of my favorites. See, this is a little darker. Yes. Again, I don't have to be perfect. Those lines are going to be coming back in a few minutes. How does that look? Yes. Nice, and let's see if we can just plop this on here. I love this disco. I may still do 2 coats. I'm gonna let it dry for a second. Maybe we'll help it out with our dry tool. This is a dry erase board, so I can see with all the metallic, it does kind of bead up a little bit because this one has, I just used to play one on face. Stop it. You are an artist, Tracy. You know that. You make amazing art that's very creative, where I'm just coloring. I kind of like it beating up a little bit because it shows some of that white through and looks weathered. So I'm liking this. I'm going to go ahead and get out my dry tool. And dry that a little bit, and maybe we'll do another coat, maybe we won't, of that disco. I don't want it to look like chrome, you know what I mean? So I think the disco is going to be perfect here. And then once it puts those accents back in, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to go over all of this. Because I couldn't water down the chalk very much, it's very thick, so that means that it can still have some wetness. And we definitely don't want our transfer to pull up any of our paste that we've worked so hard painting when we go to do the outline. Let me go ahead and get that transfer again. I'm going to put this down here. And because I'm assuming this transfer is going to be a little wet still, I'm going to put my fuzzing cloths with the microfiber side up. Okay. And then I'm going to put my transfer and we'll dry that side. If you are a team member, Tracy, I don't know if you see, I'm having an event for our team in a couple of weekends where we're playing a fun game. So I hope you saw that and you are available. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday morning. I want to say the 21st. Hope you can make it. If you guys are not a designer on my team, you might want to consider joining just to come to this event where everyone's going to be walking away with some amazing things. It's a Zoom online. So I'm just really focusing on those apples because that's the only thing I need to re-outline. But I also don't want the rest of it to be so sticky because I'm actually going to turn my microfiber over to the fuzz side now because it's dry. And I'm going to fuzz all of this again. I didn't clean the rest of it well, but I focused just on that apple basket. Uh-oh. Don't do that. Transfer was brand new, so you can see how sticky it is. We have our holiday launch in just a couple of days. I think it's either 4 or 5 days away for our Christmas line. I know we do have some Christmas that just came out, but there's another release coming in a couple of days. All right. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I didn't realize there was a hanger on the back of this. I'll have to cut that off. All right, I'm trying to say a quick little thing, make sure it's all nice and dry. And then what we're gonna have to do is get our transfer and line it back up. This is why it was important to fuzz it the first time so that it still lines up well. So we're going to just line it up here. If it's a little on the outside, it's fine because that's just going to add more of an outline. But let me see here. I was looking at apples, but I want to look at, sometimes it's nicer if you just had another hand. Go. There we go. There we go. All right, so really it's just the apple part, the flowers, and that's it. So I'm going to grab that again, and instead of using the spall, I'm going to use a mini just to make sure that I don't go crazy. I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down and go over this to add all of those details, outlines, accents back in. I've really been working on this for a while. I knew this wasn't going to be a quick project, but I'm so glad you guys are here chatting with me while I do it. all of these little details going back in. A lot of paste. And you don't have to do the outline in black. You could have done it in red or brown, any other color you want to do. Put the detail in our slice. It's actually a funny story how I started crafting again. We will have to catch. Ooh, well, if you come to that event, tell us. Or, I mean, you can always chat with me offline. I would love to hear it. But I'm glad because everybody needs this creative escape. I don't trust people who don't have any type of hobby at all. You have to like something or do something other than be an adult, right? Almost done here. Because I didn't wax before the first time, that's why I'm petrified. Petrified? Scared that it's going to peel up a little bit, but we're going to peel this nice and slow. All right. Just going to make sure we have... You ready? Let's see what we got here, guys. Did I do everything I was supposed to do? I hope so. Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, look at all of that detail coming alive. I almost can't believe I did this. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, you guys, what do you think? I can't wait to show you guys a picture of the buckets where the apples are going to go into. Aren't those colors perfect? The same bucket, these, and then I even have apples on sticks to go in things. So let's look at this big. Hold on, let me dry it a little bit so I don't smear it. Oh, I love it. I want this transfer. I haven't bought any new ones in a long time. I have transfers. I just haven't had a chance to play with them as much. Look at this. Does this look like something we just sat here and chatted and did? I don't think so. This looks amazing. And my red apples, my green apples, and all we did was we did the transfer first in black velvet, and then we just watercolored. Look how good that slice looks down there with that green at the bottom. What a good idea, Tracy. And look at the flower with the pink on the outside of the petals. Beautiful. I watercolored using our artist toolkit, and then we just did the outline again. Oh, thank you, Christy. I cannot wait to put my apples up now. I'm covered in paste. I'll take a picture of this. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll share a picture of this when I put it up, okay? Oh, now I'm going to want to chalk every single day. This is so beautiful. It doesn't even look like chalk, does it? I love it. Again, I got this surface from Michael's. It's on clearance right now, and it was $7. I'm trying to see what it says on here. It doesn't say it's a whiteboard. It says it's called Pinewood Plaque is what it's called. It's 16.9 by 24.9, which our transfers are 18 by 24. So I had to like really fit it in and not do the outline that goes all the way around. But you could always use one of our E-size chalkboards or a surface. Oh, thank you, Anne. I didn't know you were here. It looks like you spent a lot of money on it, and I did not. I did not. All right, you guys, I cannot wait to put my apples out. So, now I'm thinking, how do I make a faux apple pie? I don't even know. I don't know. Things that I'm going to be wondering for the rest of the night. But yeah, I have to see what other apple stuff I have. I know I have one transfer that's called You Are the Apple of My Pie, but I don't want that on there. I'm going to just do like other fall stuff, like maybe little fall floral arrangement will go in there. Look at these apples. They look like real apples, don't they?